I want to say a huge thank you to the University of Nairobi, to you, Chancellor, all of your wonderful colleagues and your incredible team for hosting this really extraordinarily important discussion today on the role of museums and creative industries here in Kenya, and for inviting as well an extraordinary world-class scholar and leader in this field, Dr. Casely Hayford. It's great to have him here from the extraordinary Smithsonian National Museum of African Art. You know, U.S. and Kenya relations have really been on a whirlwind in the last few months. It's really been, I think, quite extraordinary. It was just a couple of months ago now that we had President Kenyatta hosted at the White House by President Trump, where we had our relationship raised to a strategic relationship and the beginning of a strategic dialogue, which opens a new chapter in the relations between our two great countries. Of course, October, we then had the honor of having here in Kenya the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, hosted in an extraordinary and gracious fashion by the First Lady of Kenya, Margaret Kenyatta. We've had a number of visits by business delegations and groups, and concluded just in the past few months $1 billion worth of new business deals, trade and investment deals. And of course, we had the first direct flight between Nairobi and New York. And all of this activity is really an affirmation of the extraordinary partnership between our two countries. We've had 55 years of working together, and we are working together in every area. We're working together to improve security, we're working on healthcare, we're working to educate children, assist farmers, protect wildlife. It is a true partnership between our two countries, between our two peoples, because this is not just a relationship between governments, it's a relationship between people. It's a tapestry, an incredible and beautiful tapestry of ties between our countries. It is government to government, but it's also business to business, it's NGO to NGO, it's religious group to religious group, it's people to people. And one of the important, if perhaps somewhat less well-known parts of the relationship has really been the activities and the presence of the Smithsonian Institution here in Kenya. And it, too, has had a partnership with Kenyans. For decades, the Smithsonian has been investing in Kenya through a variety of programs that have included anthropological research, wildlife conservation, health. There's a lot that's been going on, a lot of it behind the scenes, but it's been truly extraordinary. Just in the area of the Global Health Program, for example, we've been working together with Kenyans in the field of wildlife health, cross-species disease transmission, and helping to build capacity. From Turkana to Laikipia to the Masai Mara, the experts from the Smithsonian, along with the Kenya Wildlife Service, have been working to ensure sustainable environment and helping both animals and humans coexist in a way that promotes the health and well-being of both. We've also got a lot going on in the critical research areas of the past, and kind of what happened in the early days of humans in this region, which is, of course, where we all come from. It is the cradle of civilization and really the cradle of humanity. In the United States, the name Smithsonian is really synonymous with museum. The Smithsonian system is big, includes 19 museums, including the famous Air and Space Museum, the Natural History Museum, and, of course, the National Museum of African Art, which is, I can tell you, from my own visits, an extraordinary place, a very powerful place. This is really a thriving ecosystem of museums and cultural institutions across the country. In the United States, there are approximately 35,000 museums. And for anyone who's traveled to the United States, I think that gives a good indication of just how much Americans love their museums. From fire engines to fine arts to fashion, museums come in all shapes and sizes, and they're in every corner of the country. They're also effective economic drivers. A recent study by the American Alliance of Museums showed that museums in the United States generated $50 billion for GDP in 2016, as well as 726,000 jobs and $12 billion in tax revenue. But beyond economics, there are powerful reasons to support museums. Museums are a cultural anchor for their communities. They preserve traditions, knowledge, and artifacts, help us interpret the past and imagine the future. Museums promote self-reflection and dialogue. They support creativity. They generate new ideas and fresh perspectives, foster mutual understanding, appreciation for diverse groups and cultures. They become a force for peace, for unity. In brief, museums connect us. They connect us one to another. They connect the future, the past. And all of this is extraordinarily powerful. By every metric, museums are tremendous assets for the communities that support them. And I do think the time has come for a Museum of East African Art here in Kenya. This is the moment. And I strongly support the discussions which are about to take place. I congratulate everyone who's been involved in them, and I think that this museum, if realized, will help be another very important force for creativity, for the arts, for artists, for everybody, people across this region. So I wish you success, I congratulate you, and I look forward to seeing the results of this extraordinary effort. Pomoja, Tusonge Mbele, Asanteni Sana. Thank you very much.